on Instagram. Hope everyone's having a good morning so far. Let's see. All right, live on Instagram and live on Facebook. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the PT on Ice Daily Show. My name is Guillermo Contreras. I am a physical therapist in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Coming to you from my basement. Went a little, got the ice physio green in the background, so enjoying that today for fun. Today's topic is one that I've done in the past, and it's actually kind of like a weird hobby, passion of mine, which is shoes, collecting, having them. I'm known to be the shoe guy in the fitness athlete realm. So hopefully, not sure what's going on, but that should be okay. Here's what we'll do. Excellent. So good morning, happy Monday to everybody here. The topic of today is, what is the best shoe for fitness? In the fitness athlete realm, we get that question asked a lot, so I figured I'd dive a little bit deeper into what the makeup of the shoes are, different options we have out there, especially for the CrossFit athlete in the CrossFit realm or in the functional fitness realm. So your boot camps, your F45, anything like that, where you're doing multiple different things and not just one thing at a time. So what we're going to start out with is get an idea of what courses are coming up within ICE, right? So most importantly, let's get you some knowledge here. For the remainder of the year, there's not a whole lot, right? The biggest thing we have coming up is our final cohort of Essential Foundations this year is going to start up on December 6th. So there are only about 10 spots left. So if you're someone who's been wanting to take that course, is looking for a reason to jump into it, this December 6th, we're starting our last cohort of 2021, which goes into 2022, and that's going to start up on December 6th, and we have about 10 spots left. So make sure if it's something you've been really interested in and wanting to take and be a part of, jump into it coming up soon. Head to ptonice.com and sign up for that. Right into 2022, right? Everything else is starting up next year, right? As the ball drops, right? We have Fitness Athlete Advanced Concepts. That is starting up on February 6th of 2022. So you'll have a little bit of time there. That one does sell out as well. So if it's something you're looking to get into, looking to jump in on, you're trying to finish off that fitness athlete certification, definitely jump on the website, sign up for Advanced Concepts before it sells out. Pregnancy and postpartum athleticism starts up on January 3rd. So literally the week after New Year's, like it becomes 2022. They hit the ground running quickly with pregnancy and postpartum athleticism on January 3rd of 2022. Modern management of the older adult starts a cohort, same thing, on January 5th, so that Wednesday of the new year, right off the bat. And then rehab of the injured runner starts up on January 11th, 2022. So lots of courses coming up right at the beginning of the year that do tend to fill up. So if you're interested in any of those, make sure you head to ptonice.com. We'll find them in our online courses section and sign up. Another option you have out there for someone who you may not want to do a full 8-week course, but you do want to get knowledge and learn from all the ICE faculty and staff, as well as people outside of ICE, is our VICE, our virtual mentorship group that meets 52 weeks a year. We do a live session, and enrollment for that closes on December 7th. So you're going to have a couple weeks here left to sign up for that. I believe we open enrollment once a quarter or so. And if you haven't signed up for it, never been a part of it, it's a fantastic resource. Tons of speakers from within ICE, outside of ICE. We talk about BFR, we talk about health, we talk about Red S or women's health. You name it. We even talk about graphic design and things that you can take to improve your own practice as far as branding and marketing and vision and things like that. So lots of options out there for you. So check out our online courses. Near the bottom, there's VICE or Virtual ICE, and sign up for that if it's something you are interested in, and a good way to get some Con Ed and spread out throughout the year versus all at once. As far as live courses, like I mentioned, we're done for the year as far as live courses flying around. But again, start 2022, we hit the ground running right away. January 8th, we have Modern Management of the Older Adult live at Health HQ in Fenton, Michigan. January 15th, they're also at Onward, Tennessee in Hendersonville, Tennessee, so MMOA again. And then on January 22nd, Older Adult is going to be in, I think it's Paoli, Pennsylvania. So they're going hard in the paint right away. Lumbar Spine is going to be in Greenville, South Carolina at Onward Greenville on January 22nd. And lastly, clinical management of the fitness athlete live is going to be in PTC CrossFit in Las Vegas, Nevada on January 29th. So I do our courses, live courses. You can find all the information you need there. You can sign up for the courses, find out the location, everything like that right off the bat. So with that said, let's dive into the topic at hand. What is the best shoe for fitness? And again, this is going to be part just knowledge, part a little bit of opinion. When it comes to the CrossFit realm, there's a number of shoes out there. The last 10 years or so, there's only been two brands that have really dominated the space, and that is Reebok and Nike. More specifically, it's the Reebok Nano and the Nike Metcon. These two shoes have gone through a number of iterations. I'm going to dive into the newest iterations of these shoes, specifically the Nano X1. And because I do not own the Metcon 7, I'm going to talk about it, but I'm probably only going to show the Metcon 6 because that's what I own. And actually that's my personal favorite because I haven't tried the Metcon 7. And the other shoe that has really dominated the space is the Noble Trainer. Noble is a smaller company, but they've gotten a lot bigger. Now they are the head sponsor of the CrossFit Games, so it got to show them some love there. And I'll dive a little bit into some other shoe options that there are in the realm of fitness, including Innovate, New Balance, things like that. So right off the bat, we're going to start with the Nano X1. Specifically for me, this is the Nano X1 Froning. So these shoes, some claim are the best shoe that Reebok has ever come out with. I know our COO Alan has, I think, like 3 or 4 pairs of the same shoe, just because he loves the way they feel, the shape of them, everything like that. These come with a solid 7mm heel drop. So compared to previous versions, these are going to have a lot more heel height, which is going to help with those Olympic lifts, squatting, any movement where you're going to be needing some ankle dorsiflexion to get into a full depth squat position with an upright torso. Because of that, people have said that this is one of the best shoes for lifting in. The Nano X1 specifically has laces. This is more of like a boot kind of fit, the X1 Froning here, and has more of a strap lace system versus actual laces, so you can get those a little bit more snug. And it also has this really solid heel lock system here, so this really, really stable position here. So it goes from the heel clip up to the sides, and because of that, there's like no give or move at all in the back, which makes it a really, really stable lifting platform for your Olympic lifts and anything where you just want a stable heel and don't want to be worried about collapsing in and out. Despite that, it still has a good amount of flexibility in the front and in the mid for your plyometrics and things like that. And the X1 also comes with a little bit more of what they call an angled toe spring, which makes it a lot more comfortable for running. So as far as a shoe that does everything, as far as being able to weightlift in it, to be able to run in it, to jump, something that's lightweight, breathable, responsive, and flexible, the Nano X1 is probably one of the best ones you can get out there as far as shoes for fitness, for CrossFit, for a little bit of everything. The other thing is most people who wear Nanos and have tried other shoes feel like these are the best if you have a wide toe box or a wide foot. It's wide through the middle, so it supports the midset area there, and you're not compressing the inside a lot. It's also wide in the toe box, so if you're someone who wants your toes to splay when you're doing these activities, which ideally most of us would want that and not just have our toes crushed, this is one of the best shoes out there for specifically that. Next shoe is the Nike Metcon. And I'm going to show the Nike Metcon 6 because I do not have a 7. But after this, if people really want me to cover that at some point, I'll probably find some time to invest in a 7 if my wife allows it, and get myself some so I can talk about it and know what I'm talking about. But the Metcon 6, similar to the 7, I personally believe has a fairly wide toe box. So a nice spacious toe box for your toes to splay. It has a 4mm heel height, and it also comes with something called Hyperlift. So these shoes specifically, you can pull out the insole a little bit and slide an extra lift into the shoe that comes with it when you buy it, and that actually gives a little bit more of a heel height to that shoe. So again, when you have an athlete who might be struggling to stay upright in their torso when they're squatting or sitting deep into that squat with an upright torso, that's going to be a huge benefit if their ankles are a reason for their limited squat. Similar to the Nano X1, it has a nice stable heel, right? So it's not going to move a whole lot. It's fairly solid, and it's flexible in the front. And I'd say this is actually more flexible than the Nano X1. It also has a heel clip, which they say is for like handstand push-ups, so it slides on the wall. I'm doesn't really make a difference to me. But again, these are stylish shoes, comfortable. They have a rope guard as well, stable to the midline, good spring in it for running and things like that. If you are a midfoot or forefoot striker when it comes to running, these shoes are going to be nice. These are also going to be nice, right? The downside to these types of shoes, and this includes the Metcon 7, which has, again, I believe about a 4 to 7 millimeter heel drop, but it has something called a TPU Hyperlift, whatever that means, installed in it. So it has a stiff heel already, and it makes it fantastic for weightlifting and gives that really nice kind of weightlifting shoe feel without being excessively high like in a weightlifting shoe where you have about an inch of heel height. The biggest downside to that is if you are a heel striker when you run or more of a rear foot striker, it's going to feel terrible. So most people do not like running in CrossFit style shoes because of the fact that the heel is stiffer because it's made for weightlifting. They're made to weightlift and do other things. So it's not going to be the most comfortable thing there. But again, Metcon 6, nice white toe box, a little more narrow through the midfoot compared to the Nano here, but still wider than other shoes out there. And again, very comfortable, very breathable, very flexible, really responsive to everything you want to do. So a good shoe there as well. And lastly, it's the Noble, right? So these are the top 3 most known shoes, the things, if you walk into a CrossFit box today, you're going to look around and these are the 3 shoes you're probably going to see on people's feet in some way, whether it be a Nano 9, Nano 6, Noble, Metcon 6, Metcon 7, Metcon 5, right? They're all over the place. The Noble is the simplest of these shoes. This company came out in like I think the early 2010s. And this shoe is basically the same shoe that it was back then. They've changed the bottom soles a little bit. They've changed like the whatever this stuff is, I forgot what it's called. But they've changed the style of this. The tongue used to be a little thicker, now it's like just thin and flappy. But pretty much other than that, the shoe has stayed about the same since it was started, right? There's a little bit of a toe spring, but not much at all. Flat throughout, I believe it's like a 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter heel drop, but not really much. It's flat across the bottom. It's stiff across the bottom. There's not a lot of give to it. It's stiffer than the other two, so not a lot of flexibility through it. And this is basically, it's just a quality training shoe if you have good feet, for lack of a better way to put it, right? If you have solid feet, no issues, you don't have a wide toe box and you don't want a wide toe box, right? If you have really narrow feet, this shoe is probably one of the best ones you can get for yourself because there's no gimmicks, there's nothing to it, there's nothing fancy. You lace them up and you go. It's got this like Kevlar stuff, which is like proof, apparently. And they have like 1,000 colors and variations, and they're always coming out with new colors. And they're around the same price point as the Metcon and the Nano. So you can't really go wrong. And it's just basically going to be about feel. There are people I know who hate the Noble and don't like to train in them. There are people I know who love the Noble and can only train in them and don't like to wear other shoes when they work out. So it's basically your choice. If I had to give my personal choice as to what the best shoe is for the most people, at this time, knowing what I know and what I've seen and what I've experienced working with athletes from 17 all the way to 65 in the gym, I would probably honestly put the Nano as my top shoe for them, right? The Metcon 7, when you look at it as a training shoe, and this is going to be a little tangential here, but the Metcon 7 is probably one of the most functional shoes you can get, right? Everything about it is meant to be better for fitness, whether it be the heel height, the flexibility. They have like this rope guard at the inside. Everything about it is meant for the sport of fitness, like everything. But when it comes to the majority of individuals in CrossFit, right, we know that people who first get started, who start doing these things, have stiff ankles, have stiff feet, have some sort of foot pain in the past or present. And this shoe, the Nano X1, is probably the best shoe that you can get for an individual who's first starting out. And that's what I would recommend this for, right? Most people are worried about their toes being scrunched. They want to display a little bit. This is going to allow for that. Most people have stiff ankles. This heel height on this guy is going to allow people to get into a deeper squat to allow them to explore that pattern a lot better than something with a lower heel height. And so because of those facts, I would say that the best shoe for fitness, in my opinion, at this time, specifically for general population, when you're talking to your athletes who might not be at the level of like a Mitch Babcock or a Kelly Benfey, or like anyone else out there that you see like at the CrossFit Games, right? This shoe is probably one of the best ones you can advise them and recommend for them to get if they're trying to get into this sport. A lot of people also love to dive into like minimalist footwear. So this is New Balance Minimus, and this is like a 0mm heel drop and just like no support anymore whatsoever. While these are fantastic for certain things, as far as CrossFit goes, with the amount of ankle dorsiflexion motion you need, the things that you need to do and be able to do in positions you need to get into, I would not recommend minimalist footwear for most individuals. Majority of individuals would benefit much more from some sort of heel height and some sort of stiff heel cup, heel sole area, and then continue to work on mobility in their ankles and stability in their feet and their ankles and everything like that. So again, take that with a grain of salt. That's my personal opinion. That's my experience from someone who owns an excessive amount of shoes and has played around and worn almost everything. I have worn Metcon 7s one time. I didn't like them, but I've never trained in them, so I don't want to give an opinion in that way until I get a pair and mess around with them a little bit more. So questions, feel free to shoot them my way. Happy to answer them any way I can. Also, great timing, right? If you're looking for Black Friday shopping, I'm assuming all these companies are going to have something going on. Nike rarely does, but I know Reebok always does, and Noble never does. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions, gang, I look forward to hearing from you. If not, have a wonderful week. Thank you for tuning in this morning, and we'll catch you tomorrow morning on the PT on Ice Daily Show.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.